prizes. The 41st Annual Tony Awards, Sunday.
I was seen leaving the Oakdale airport last night, right? So I was sent out on a stakeout to the McKechnie Castle. I'm hiding out there by the dock looking for some sign of him. And I don't know what time it was, maybe around dawn. The sun was just coming up. I hear this blood-curdling scream like somebody's in agony, so I go out to investigate.
And?
Wait a minute, I'm trying to get this right. And right after that, I head over to the castle, right, to see if somebody's over there, because I couldn't find anything. So I pick up the phone to call you guys, and the line was dead. Well, I'm really whacked out by this time, you know, so I hightail it right out of there, and I'm walking down that path, you know, the one that goes to the cemetery? And that's where I found him. It was really weird. I mean, he's lying on top of a grave with his arms across his chest. Let me tell you, it was really spooky.
You call the ME?
Yeah, he should be over there by now.
Any idea who did it?
No, but I found this in his hand.
Duncan, yet another victim of the McKechnie curse. All those near and dear to you will suffer similar fates until the walls of your ancestral castle finally come tumbling down around your damnable neck. Then you will be last.
Good Lord.
And this was in his other hand.
Is it feather?
Feather.
Wait a minute. This looks like it belongs to Angus. Angus? Yes. Duncan's falcon that I buried in that very same cemetery.
I didn't know you were coming by.
Well, I didn't know I was either. I did. I just breezed by because I wanted to see my two babies.
Oh, I just put Brian to sleep.
Oh.
But, Mother, I'm embarrassed. This place is such a mess.
Sweetheart, are you all right? You look exhausted. Are you getting sleep?
Well, yeah, I guess. It's just that Brian wakes me up every 2 seconds.
All right. That does it. Louise is coming over here. I'm sending Louise over today.
Mother, I don't need a maid. Thank you. I like taking care of my son myself. Look, I just put some coffee on. You want some?
I'd love some coffee. I brought you some goodies. I will get the coffee. You rest. I'll work. I'll wait on you, my darling. What news of Rome? What news from Craig?
Nothing lately, but he said he had some business meetings and stuff. I guess just, you know, the overseas circuits and stuff. He couldn't call yet. But he sent me...
okay? Black?
Yeah, it's great. Look at the flowers he sent me. And a wonderful note.
You don't have to go on. Lily has told me all about everything. She thinks this is the most romantic thing that ever happened.
Yeah. I think it's pretty wonderful myself. I really expected to hear from him already, but I don't know. Maybe he's just too busy and just can't...
Darling, what time is it in Rome?
I don't know.
Well, you don't have a second clock around here? It's about 3 o'clock. He's in the middle of the Visconti factory, and he will call you the minute he's finished.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, I just feel so sorry for him. I know he's trying to get all his work done quickly so he can hurry home to Bryant and me.
Betsy, honey, are you sure you're up to this?
I'm positive. Oh, God, thank God they found him before we called home.
Well, you know, we can't be sure that it is Craig yet.
Oh, I know. I know it's got to be him. I know in my heart it's got to be him. How is he?
Still unconscious, I'm afraid.
Where exactly was he found, Doctor?
He was found adrift in the sea near the small island of Acruz.
May I see him?
Yes, but only long enough so that you can identify him. The man is in serious condition, suffering from shock and exposure. But I'm confident he will pull through. Excuse me, nurse. They want to identify him.
That's the pilot. He was flying the plane. His name is Jacoby. He took Craig from Rome to Corfu and was taking us to Larissa when we hit the storm.
I do not begrudge Craig the Visconti account. Although, at the same time, I think that if I had had Holden firmly in place in the management division, maybe we wouldn't have lost the account.
Mother, I'm sure that Tonio did everything he could.
You mean you don't know what he did do to lose the account?
No. What?
Oh, darling. Signor Visconti walked into his hotel suite to see Tonio making a play for La Signora. Hello.
Did Visconti tell you this?
Barbara Ryan was on Visconti's arm and saw it all.
Yeah. Barbara Ryan is not the most reliable source when it comes to men or Tonio. And I have a feeling that Angela can take care of herself. Oh, but I did want to ask you about something.
Yes, my darling, I'm all ears.
Well, okay, Tonio came by here yesterday.
Here? I mean, Craig is out of town 1 minute and the man comes here where he's not wanted?
Mother, calm down. He didn't come here to bug me. He came by because he is genuinely worried about you trying to have him deported.
He should be. That would make my day if I could manage it.
Well, it wouldn't make mine. Mother, if he's deported to Montega, you might as well just sign his death warrant. You know, I'm not saying that I approve of what he's done. I certainly am upset with him for threatening you with the knowledge of Lily's adoption.
So you want to reward his mercy, his compassion? The man is beneath contempt.
Okay. Fine. I don't want you responsible for him being sent back to Montega. I don't think you want it on your conscience either. But anyway, another thing he said, something about Craig's business. And I want... Wait, Craig now. Hello.
Sierra, hi, it's Margot.
Hi, Margot.
Oh. I'm going to see the baby. Bye.
How are you?
I'm okay. Listen, I'm calling because I wanted to know if you'd heard from Craig since the last time I talked to you this morning.
No, I haven't. I guess he's just too busy, or maybe it's the overseas circuits. I don't know.
Have you tried calling him?
Well, I didn't think there'd be any point. I mean, he's probably in meetings with Visconti.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, but, Ellen called me before she left for the mountains with Nancy, and she said she hadn't heard from Betsy either.
No, I know. I talked to her this morning also.
She said that she tried calling several times and that there was no answer at Steve's friend's house or at the office.
Maybe they're out sightseeing or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, look, give my love to that adorable nephew of mine, and I'll try and get by and see you both before I leave for Washington tonight.
Okay, I'm so glad you're going. I can't wait to tell Craig.
Well, look, I'm just going down there to talk to Tom and try and talk things out. I mean, I don't want Craig or anyone else to think anything more than that.
Well, I am sure that once you two get together, everything will fall into place. I mean, you two belong together, Margot, just like Craig and me. Hey, and remember what that song says. Love will find a way.
Yeah, that's great, Sierra. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Shannon leave?
No, she's still with Roy and Nick and the medical examiner. Now, it turns out that Larberry died as a result of asphyxiation and a broken windpipe. Apparently somebody strangled him, probably with a piece of thick rope, maybe hemp, nailed him from behind. Well, I can tell your mind's not on this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're thinking about your trip to D.C.?
Well, that's part of it. I don't know, I've just got this weird feeling. I can't really explain it, and I can't really seem to shake it either.
About what?
I don't know. It's like my life is about to change drastically in one way or another, and this feeling I woke up this morning, and I can't... It's just been gnawing at me ever since.
Well, you're probably just psyched up about finally coming face to face with Tom.
Maybe.
Margot.
I do dread it.
Listen to me. You know that you are doing the right thing, don't you? I mean, you have to know that.
I do.
Look, whatever happens, don't let those weird feelings get in the way of doing something that you should have done months ago.
It wasn't a play for sympathy like you're used to getting from... I want to go see how Shannon's holding up.
Such said you wanted to see me?
Oh, yeah. Come on, sit down. Would you mind being all by yourself for about a week or so at the house?
Mine?
Parties.
Oh, what? Why, are you going somewhere?
Yeah. After work, Casey and I are taking off to the Foxwood Lodge.
Oh, how romantic. I know it was such a lucky place for Craig and Sierra.
Oh, of course, it wasn't as lucky for Tonio. You know, he was talking about it just last night. He still hasn't gotten over the fact that Sierra's baby turned out to be Craig's. I don't know that he ever will.
Meg, would you mind if I give you a little piece of advice?
Of course not.
If you plan on having any kind of future with Tonio, I mean, if you really love him, you've got to get him to stop dwelling on the past. Bryant is Craig's baby, and you know, I've never seen two people more happy than Craig and Sierra. If you really love him, try to get him out of the past and into the present.
I wish I knew how. You know, Lila, I haven't even told my family this, but I'm really afraid that I'm always going to be second best where Tonio's concerned.
Why do you feel that?
Well, because Sierra was his first love. You know what they say about first loves. You know, it just feels like something that I can't possibly fight, no matter how hard I try.
You know, Tonio isn't exactly one of my favorite people. But if you truly love him, and you want him, then you fight for him, and don't give up on that, okay?
Thanks. I will.
Good.
It means a lot to hear you say that. Thank you. I gotta run to class. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, Lila. Do you mind if I join you?
Well, actually, I was just going to leave.
Oh, this won't take very long.
I just wanted to tell you how sorry I am for my father's belated and ill-timed apology to Casey the other morning. I was absolutely furious with him for dredging up all that past history, especially in front of you.
Well,
I could barely look Casey in the eye, even though he was perfectly dear about it.
yeah, well, I don't really mind. As a matter of fact, I'm glad I was there to see your father's point of view. I found it really kind of fascinating.
Really?
Really. But I want you to know that Casey hasn't bought a word of it.
I beg your pardon.
Well, this whole bit about your father saying that he didn't transfer you because he disapproved of Casey, when we all know that he does disapprove of Casey.
Yes, well, my father was very impressed with Casey's accomplishments here at Memorial.
Yeah, well, he should be. I'm very proud of him, too. But you want to know what I think is his greatest accomplishment? Our relationship. Because it works. Excuse me. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Mother. I'm sorry he conked out on you like that.
I guess babies do. I love him. Love you. And I'm leaving. I have to go to work, and I'm sending Fenwick back. He can at least do something. He can get some groceries for you.
Mother, I can take care of myself. I've ordered groceries. They're on their way. We're all set.
All right. Whatever you say, dear. Do something. All right. You were going to tell me you wanted me to know something or something about Greg's business? What was that?
Oh, yeah, it was nothing, no. Well, actually, it's just something I should probably talk to him about first. So.
All right. You know how I admire his business acumen. I admire him because I taught him most of what he knows. But he still has to watch things, you know. Sometimes he goes soft in particular areas. Guard against that.
Do you want to give me an example, Mother?
Yes, my darling, I will. I mean, if I can think of one. Yes. For example, when he gave Barbara Ryan back her investment in his business because he had scruples because she'd had an affair with Tony. I mean, heavens, this is business. You can't afford in business to make gestures like that.
I'm sorry, but I'm proud of him for that.
Whatever you say. Bye, dear.
Anyway, it wasn't just because of Tonio that he returned the investment.
What? Why was it?
Well, you know I don't like to gossip, Mother.
Oh, you mean the affair that Barbara had with Tom Hughes?
Yeah, but Craig told me about this. They didn't have an affair. Barbara and Tom were working together. Tom was very drunk. He passed out. And Barbara led him to believe that they had slept together. And Barbara lived this lie for some time, long enough for Margot and Tom's marriage to suffer a great deal.
Barbara? Good grief. Well, I'll file that one away. Bye, dear.
Bye. Oh, Mother,
Darling, you don't want to be left alone, do you? Come on, what?
No, it's
I
not,
have
it's
all
not
day.
Okay, it's not that. It's just I wanted to know if you had planned exactly when you were going to tell Lily You know, she's adopted.
No, I haven't picked a date. I mean, I'm going to do it when I feel it's...
Mother, I think you should pick a date and a time and your words very carefully, because Lily was here yesterday, and we had some very long talks. And Lily is hypersensitive about women who give up their children, no matter what the reason.
Bye, dear.
Ta-da!
What?
What do you think?
New dress? No, I'm just kidding. You got your hair cut, right? It looks fabulous.
You like
I
it?
love it.
You like
Yeah.
it? You think Holden will approve?
Oh, I think he'll approve of anything where you're concerned. I love it. It looks
Thanks.
great.
Guess what else?
What?
I got my report card today.
Yeah?
Straight A's.
Really?
No more high school.
Oh, let me see. That's great.
You're the first to know. You are. Of course, if Holden weren't in L.A., he'd be the first to know, but you have to understand that.
Oh, I understand. I'm going to be second best, but at least it's all in the family. That's okay.
No, really, I came over here first. I didn't go to Sierra's apartment. I didn't go to Mom's office. It's got to prove you're not second in my book.
Thank you. That's sweet. You're a sweet girl. You're sweet and smart, you know that? You are, really.
But, no.
He's about 6'1". He has light brown hair, hazel eyes.
Any distinguishing scars or other marks?
None that I remember.
Dr. Stewart, I understand your granddaughter is a very close and personal friend of Mr. Montgomery's. How well do you know him?
Oh, very well. He used to be married to Betsy.
Really? I had no idea.
Yes, well, the marriage ended rather unhappily, but since then they've managed to build a strong bond of friendship.
Most unusual.
Yes, it is. Before Betsy gets here, I wanted to ask you, how serious are the charges against her husband, against Steve Andropoulos?
Very serious indeed. A charge involving drug smuggling can carry the penalty of life imprisonment here in Greece, if he is found guilty. And from the evidence that I have seen, Mr. Andropoulos was caught red-handed.
Granddad. I think we better work on getting Steve the best lawyer possible.
Yeah, I agree. But are you sure that you feel up to going to the prison to see him?
Especially since the inspector's been so kind to arrange it.
Well, I think we shouldn't put off any longer calling Oakdale and telling them about Craig.
How much longer will the search parties be out?
Well, until dark, at least. Well, since the pilot has regained consciousness, he has been able to help us to pinpoint the area where the plane went down. So now we have a better idea of the currents and all that. That should help.
See, please, let's just wait. A few more hours. They found the pilot, they found me, they'll find Craig too, please.
Oh, I see.
How are you doing?
Well, I thought those last few days with Duncan and the Keys would have prepared me for anything, but I sure wasn't ready to hear about poor George being killed.
Well, I hope you realize that no matter what Duncan's involved in, whether he is involved or not, and no matter who the Falcon is, the stakes are very high.
Yeah, I realized that last night when Duncan lit into me and told me to get out of his life for good. You know, he practically blamed me for the McKechnie curse coming down on his head. God, it's so sad.
What is?
Well, for a while, I thought I was really getting through to Duncan, you know? He saw that I was stowed away on board, and he didn't even throw me to the sharks. But when push came to shove and he had to decide what was really important to him, he chose his secrets and his maps. Told me to go take a hike.
I'm glad you're safe and sound. Does that count for something?
Yeah, thanks. Just wish I'd gotten back in time to stop Uncle Earl from going down there.
Oh, you got back in time to try and stop Lisa, and it didn't do any good.
That's true.
I just hope that Lisa and Earl don't walk into something they can't handle like you did.
You and me both. Oh, poor George. He's just a big lumbering fool who lived to protect Duncan. He never would have hurt a fly. Who would do such a thing to him?
I don't know. I hope we find out before I leave for D.C. tonight.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh,
sorry about what?
Going on and on about my problems when you must be so excited about seeing Tom after such a long separation.
Actually, I have kind of mixed feelings about it.
All right, you guys aren't going to believe this one.
What?
This is the lab print on good old Georgie's prints. Turns out his name wasn't Larberry at all. It was George Larner, and he was wanted in 3 states and Canada for escaping from prison.
What was he wanted for?
Would you believe murder 1? Turns out dear old Georgie iced not 1, but 5 people.
What?
And he also did a hell of a lot of smuggling.
Poor old harmless George, huh?
I don't believe that.
I guess this gives us an idea of the kind of people Duncan hangs around with.
No, I'm almost positive Duncan knew nothing about this.
Oh, Shannon.
Franklin here.
Have you read this thing?
Huh? Hold on.
The ID number.
Did you put in a call to Rome?
Prince?
Oh, yes. I'm hoping to get this with Craig before I leave. Hello? Is this Senor Visconti? Oh, terrific. I am Margot Hughes. I'm Craig Montgomery's sister, and is he there with you? And if he is, may I speak to him, please? What? He left for Greece. When?
Betsy, honey, why don't you come sit down until they bring Steve in?
No, I can't, Granddad. I just keep thinking of Craig. I want this nightmare to be over.
Are you, nervous about seeing Steve?
I don't know what I'll say to him. The risks he took, Granddad. He broke the law to bring Danny and me over here.
Well, you mustn't let those thoughts cloud the issue or make you feel guilty. You never asked Steve to do anything but try to find a respectable job, did you?
No.
Well, you didn't put any pressure on him. Told him that you were willing to wait as long as it took. It's not your fault that he risked everything by doing this silly, foolish thing. Good Lord, you risked your life and Craig's trying to head him off. I don't feel the least bit sorry for Steve. Fact is, I'd like to thrash him.
I know what you're saying. But he is my husband. He's the father of my child.
I know, and that's part of the reason that I'm so angry.
Mrs. Andropoulos, I'm sorry I have to tell you this, but your husband refuses to see you. Or your grandfather. Either separately or together.
What did you want to see me about?
Oh, I talked to my buddy, the new chief of staff, and he said that I could start my vacation right after lunch.
Oh, well, that's just wonderful. I hope you have a very pleasant time driving up by yourself to Foxwood Lodge while I'm slaving away here till 5 o'clock.
Oh, honey, 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 honey. Would I do that to you? My pal, the new chief of staff, talked to your favorite supervisor, Mrs. What's-her-face, Mrs. Atwater. He got you paroled at the same time.
You're kidding! Well, your buddy John is full of surprises since he married Lucinda.
Well, it just goes to show you that a happy marriage will cure whatever ails you. Take a look at Craig and Sierra. Now, if you were smart, you'd say yes to marrying me, and then we could hop on the happiness boat, too.
Uh-huh. Well, I hate to put a damper on your theory here, Dr. Peretti, but all the marriages that we know of aren't really happy.
Oh, I walked right into that one, didn't
Yeah,
I?
you sure did. That reminds me of Margot. I wanted to stop by and see her tonight. Then I want to see Sierra and say goodbye to my little grandbaby.
Honey, you got yourself a deal.
Okay. I can't believe that Mrs. Atwater's letting me get off early.
Well, maybe she's changing your tune. I mean, next thing you know, she'll be dating Jordan Brewster, and she'll want to be a bridesmaid at your wedding. How's that sound?
I don't know about that, but can you imagine Jordan? Oh, I better get going if I'm going to get off early today.
Hey, why don't you duplicate that greeting you gave me when you walk in here?
Okay.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Hi, Taylor. How's it going?
Okay. You must be in a good mood. John tells me that you're leaving on vacation this afternoon.
John. Ooh, we're on a first-name basis with the new chief of staff, are we?
I do hope that you're taking Lila's daughter with you for some enforced rest.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, only that from what I've seen of Margot Hughes, she either needs a keeper or a long stretch of intensive psychotherapy.
What kind of a crack is that?
It's not a crack, it's the truth. She practically attacked me right here the other morning. Told me that if I made any trouble for you and her mother, I'd have her to deal with.
Well, good for Margot, but I don't need her to tell you what I already told you myself.
For your information, Dr. Peretti, you can relax. So can Lila and her neurotic daughter. If I had any designs on you, that day that you came to my apartment and kissed me, I could have easily taken it one step further and ended up in bed with you. If you think back to that moment in time, I think you'll realize that I'm right. Have a wonderful vacation. I just hope that Lila doesn't miss her new grandson so much that she can't enjoy it.
French, straight A, this is incredible. Tell her your, go on, tell her your grades.
I got straight A's. That means I won't have to burn down Oakdale High like Dusty always kidded me I would.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Really, that's great.
Thank you.
Speaking of Dusty, how does he like Harvard?
He likes it a lot. He does. He's let it slip, though, that he's coming home for graduation weekend.
Oh, really? That's terrific.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it.
Oh, I guess Holden won't be so thrilled.
No, he's fine, really. He's over that jealousy, but he asked for Dusty. Yes.
Well, looks like you got everything you wanted, as always. Hey, since your mom got you a fancy sports car for your birthday, what's she gonna get you for graduation? Oh, your own jet?
Oh, dear. Hi.
Mom, you're here just in time to answer Meg's question.
All right. What is your question?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
All right, darling. John has had a brilliant idea. What? Since Sierra will not go out of the house, he thought maybe Rosa could make us a hamper. We'll have lovely things to eat and drink and go there and eat with Sierra and then go on to the ceremony. Does that sit well with you?
That's great. I was just about to go over to Sierra's anyway.
Good.
That's fine.
Well, tell your mom your great news.
Oh, I got straight A's. I'm going to graduate with honors.
Of course. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, why wasn't I the first to know?
Well, I was going to come over to your office after I told Iva. You just saved me the trip.
I don't know why I'm surprised that Steve didn't want to see us. It's typical of him to try to avoid me whenever he's in trouble. When he lost his job, I was practically the last one to know.
Honey, let's just see if he doesn't come around after Inspector Hanyotis talks to us.
I don't even know if I want to see him now, Granddad, really. I just want to find out about Craig.
I am sorry, Mrs. Andropoulos, but your husband still refuses to see you.
Well, we appreciate you trying, Inspector. Thank you. I think now I'd better get my granddaughter to that hotel that you recommended.
Well, it's just outside Volos near the water. Why don't I drive you over there?
Well, that's very nice. Thank you. We'll take a cab.
Well, you may have difficulty finding one. Please, I insist.
Well, all right. Thank you. Thank you very much. As soon as we're checked into the hotel, I'm going to try to contact the American Embassy to see if they can't get them involved in Steve's case.
It's a good idea.
Well, I doubt that there's anything the American Embassy can do. Even if your husband were an American citizen, the drug charges are out of their hands.
What do you mean, if he were an American citizen? Of course he's an American citizen.
Mrs. Andropoulos, last March, your husband gave up his U.S. citizenship. He reverted to Greek citizenship.
What?
I cannot understand why he never told you.
Not half as glad as I am. I never thought I'd see you alive again.
Oh, sorry I worried everybody.
Worried? Oh, Lisa and Earl kept me posted.
Chartered plane that went down in the Aegean night before last.
Well, are they all right?
Well, Betsy is, thank God. They found the pilot this morning, but there's still no trace of Craig.